Hey guys, welcome back. Let's start with the fun stuff right out of the gate because I want you to watch this entire presentation and I want you to know what we're talking about here with Hycroft just reporting Q3 results. There continues to be a lot of misinformation and a lot of negativity about Hycroft, and I get it. If you didn't understand the timeline, it's easy to be negative, and I'm hearing people still say, oh, Hycroft's going to go bankrupt. Let's talk about the reality. I got 6 bullet points here for you. Just let's hit them real quick. The company is expecting to publish a technical study with economics by the end of this year. The company is now debt-free. They have 3 to 4 years of cash runway now. That does not line up with this bankruptcy narrative that these yahoos are trying to push out there on social media and YouTube. The company is now 80% institutionally owned, which is always a signal of strength when institutions come piling in. And the October dilution is already priced in at today's market close of $8.01. What do I mean? The company raised a lot of money through dilution, selling shares, private placement, whatever phrase you want to use to describe it. And that dilution is now in the float and we're trading at $8.01. And when we put the chart up here, oh my goodness, look at this chart in the last 12 months of Hycroft, $1.63 up to a high of recently $9.75. Try and tell me that that is a bad investment. It might have been a bad investment if you got in early and you didn't understand this timeline. But man, these people that bought in at $1.63 and rode it up to $9.75, sitting pretty good. There was a little bit of pullback recently as metal prices collapsed a little bit, but with today's quarterly results, Hycroft is up almost 19% on the day, closing at $8.01. What is my wrap-up bullet point? The company is fully funded, they're debt-free, and the future upside from here for Hycroft is tied to gold and silver prices plus that end-of-year technical study with economics. Now, let's get into this video.
We were hitting multi-thousand gram silver intercepts over, 20 to 80 meters. I mean, staggering numbers. It was a wonderful, wonderful moment. Eric Sprott, our largest shareholder, has put in $110 million US since June in 3 different tranches. And this last financing he led with the $50 million order. We now have plenty of cash for the next 3 or 4 years.
Hey guys, welcome back. Hycroft Mining just reported their Q3 earnings today, and that little clip that I started this video with is from a 30-minute interview of Hycroft's CEO, Diane Garrett, with Trey Reich over at Wealthion. They are up at a silver conference in Toronto, I believe, this week. And if you are an investor or potential investor in Hycroft, I would recommend that you go down to the link in the video description and watch this entire 30-minute interview. In my video today, I want to talk about Hycroft's results very briefly for Q3, what's happened since the quarter ended, which was September 30th, and give you a bridge, a slide going over pro forma results. If we include everything that's happened in October, what would Hycroft's balance sheet look like right now? And I think you're going to be impressed. As always, as I've covered with you guys here for the last 3 years, I call Hycroft or any junior miner a speculative investment. Do not invest in junior mines if you are not willing to take on significant risk. Junior mines have what we call a Lassonde curve, and let's listen to what Diane and Trey have to say about that.
What is the mission of your company to get an idea of priority? So are you an explorer now? Are you fixing the sulfide challenges? How would you rank the mission of Hycroft right now?
Yeah, it's really interesting because the project has been a past producer. And we are considered a development stage company. But now with the high-grade silver discoveries, we're valued more as a silver company and an explorer. So we actually, on the Lassonde curve, we actually occur at 2 points. We're at that, exploration, high risk, high reward, but we're also on the pre-production because we're driving both of those things in tandem. The large project, the engineering is almost completed on that, that's been 2 years worth of work. But now with the high-grade discovery, which came after we started the engineering work, it does give us an optionality for a company of our size and a single asset company to look at a smaller high-grade underground mine. So we're looking at those.
We're going to talk about the Q3 results in just a minute, but I wanted to put this Lassonde curve up on the screen one more time in case you've never tuned into the channel before and missed any previous discussion about it. This curve kind of gives you the timeline of any junior mining project, showing you over time, which could be many years or a decade, how the value of a mining project or its stock price, if it's publicly traded, can go up or down depending on what stage the project is in. And that is why with junior miners, something like a Hycroft, it is very important for you to understand this curve and know where we are at on the timeline. And I think that a lot of people that got sour on Hycroft early on never really understood that this was a 5 to 7 year project to get it up and running as management communicated to investors in 2022. A lot of people just didn't hear that message. Hycroft released a press release with some of the highlights, things they want you to know. I've read through this, I've read through the 10Q, and I'm just going to give you a highlight summary here, some important takeaways, and I will put a link to all of the documents in the video description, and I encourage you to go read them all yourself, as you should always do on any investment. In the third quarter and through the end of October, Hycroft has strengthened the balance sheet by raising $235 million in net cash. The company prepaid and then eliminated $136 million of long-term debt, and as a result, the company is now debt-free. And the second bullet point from the press release, similar to the bullet point that I had at the beginning of the video for you on my slide deck, 80% of Hycroft's outstanding shares are now owned by institutional investors within the global mining sector. The company is continuing and expanding its drilling and exploration program, and as the final bullet point here says, they are continuing work to finish up that technical study, which we are all expecting hopefully by the end of 2025. From the Q3 results, we know Hycroft has no income, very standard for a junior miner that is in an exploration phase. And that is why we wait for them to get the exploration done, get the study done, and then find out the timeline to get into active mining. We look forward to that report. The balance sheet from Q3, if you go look at the 10Q or something like stockanalysis.com, also is going to have outdated info now because a lot has happened in the month of October, and Q3 only covered through the end of September. So you're still going to see when you look on the 10Q or here on this website that the company has long-term debt and the cash is understated. And so what I wanted to do is provide you a pro forma analysis where we kind of take the press releases from October and apply them as an overlay to the Q3 results to see where are we sitting right now with the balance sheet for Hycroft Mining. And here is that pro forma analysis. The left column pulling directly from the Q3 results, but the right column, the pro forma, is factoring in all of the cash raise and the debt payoff that happened in the month of October. Hycroft right now is sitting right now with a cash position of $238 million on top of being completely debt-free. That is a heck of an achievement. Working capital, current assets minus current liabilities, right now, $236 million, the highest it has ever been. This is a very strong signal for the balance sheet. And finally, shareholders' equity with the cash raise and the debt being paid off has improved from $47.5 million to $282 million. This is not the balance sheet of a company that is destined for immediate bankruptcy, as some of these jokers are saying out on the other YouTube channels. Now, to be fair, we need to get that technical report out. We need to see the economics. And as I said in the first slide here, highlighted in gold at the bottom, the upside of Hycroft Mine from where we're at right now is heavily dependent on getting that technical study in and what happens in the future with gold and silver prices. So at least until we get the technical study, I'm going to continue to call this a speculative investment. Junior miners are never a guarantee. Make sure you understand mining, make sure you understand the Lassonde curve, and make sure that whatever investment you're putting in here is properly sized to the risk that you are willing to take. And we look forward to some upcoming news from Hycroft over the next several quarters with that technical study and with ongoing drill results. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, let me know down below. I am Tony Denaro, and I will see you on the next video.